Okay, so dear all, in the last lecture we had discussed about the Hadoop architecture. So Hadoop architecture basically consists of two parts: MapReduce and SDFS layer. MapReduce basically do the part, take the data, take your application and perform the tracking and monitoring of your data and processing. SDFS is basically related to the storage of the information. So there is a large amount of information which is being processed by the big data technologies like Hadoop. So it does not handle by a normal file system which is used by our operating system. So SDFS is used now. So basically MapReduce do the task tracker and job tracker. Task tracker is related to the task which is assigned to the Hadoop architect, Hadoop to the from the application. And job tracker is basically tracking every job which is assigned to the slave node. So if suppose there is a 10 slave node, so job tracker will track all the 10 task tracker which is assigned to the slave node. Same thing for the SDFS. SDFS layer manage the data node. Data node is here the node which is performing the operation. For example, suppose we have a 10 slave node, so there will be 10 data node and a one name node. So name node will keep the record of all data nodes, which data node should be working, which data node should be assigned the task, and so on. Now, so Hadoop has a master slave architecture, as we have already discussed that there is a one node that is a master and there is a more node that can be a slave. So it is a distributed system where we can install the Hadoop on multiple systems. All those system computing power will help Hadoop system to perform the big data processing. So it is a very fast and optimized way to process our data. It is a distributed data processing because all of your data is located on different computer system, and these data is has been recorded by your SDFS file system. They are monitoring, they are fault tolerant, so that they have a duplicacy. For example, suppose we have a data on a slave node 1, it goes down, then what will happen? SDFS will manage the data, your Hadoop system will manage the data, so that you are not going to lose your compute processes, you are not going to lose your data. So MapReduce and SDFS will take care of this. Now we'll go for the NAP node. As we have discussed here, name node and data node, it comes under the SDFS layer. Name node. Name node represent every files and directly which is used in the namespace. So basically it will keep track record of every file which is creating by the Hadoop, every directory which is creating on the another system. Here directory means suppose you are uploading your data to slave node. So your slave node have some directory which is assigned by Hadoop system. So name node will keep the record of all those things. Data node. Data node helps you to manage the state of an SDFS node and allows you to interact with the block. For example, what are the SDFS node status? Suppose some device node have low memory, some device node has uh, high memory, and so on. So SDFS manage all these information, and it will also allow us to interact with the block. So what happened here? Block means when you are having a large amount of data, we will divide that into different blocks. So these blocks are allocated to different slave, and these slave will manage those block as a data node. So SDFS node will keep the track record of all these data node. Now, master node. The master node allows you to conduct parallel processing of data using Hadoop MapReduce. So here parallel processing means every computing system is independent of each other. So if a computing system is processing some information, so other computing system will processing other information. Both are independent of each other. So there is no way that one computing source system will depend on the another computing source system. So here master node allow us to conduct parallel processing. So all these processing, parallel processing will be monitored by our master node, which is our main computing device where we have installed the Hadoop MapReduce system. So it all facilities provided by the Hadoop MapReduce. Slave node. Slave node are the additional machine in the Hadoop cluster which allow to store data to conduct complex calculation. So basically, slave node is your second computer apart from your main devices. So slave node can be multiple nodes. So multiple computers can be slave node, but there is only single master node. It's like our previous example where we have discussed about a company where is a manager and employee. So for a particular task, a manager should be one and the employee can be multiple. So manager will keep track of all the employees. So slave nodes are multiples and they form the Hadoop cluster. So the overall collection of these slave node is called Hadoop cluster. These slave nodes help us to store data to conduct complex calculation. So by this way, slave node is very much important for running the Hadoop MapReduce system. Slave node comes with a task tracker and a data node. Data node, as we have previously discussed, task tracker is basically whatever the task is assigned to your slave node will keep track of it and inform to the master node that what is the particular process are going on with the data node. So what happened when sometimes you are running your Hadoop application and you require that you want to know what is the current status of processing your information. So what you will do, you will go to the task tracker of a slave node, and task tracker will give you the current status of your execution, from where you can analyze that particular how much percentage of the particular data processing has been done and how much time will be required to complete the task. Allowed to synchronize the process with the name node and job tracker respectively, as we have already discussed. So slave node basically synchronize the processes with the name node. So name node, as we have discussed earlier, name node is a one which is on a master node, and name node will keep the track record of uh, synchronize the processes. So when you are running multiple systems in a distributed processing environment, it is very much required that you should synchronize the processes on multiple systems. So how can you synchronize the processes on the multiple system? You will have that particular capability of the name node. So name node will keep synchronization of the process. So suppose there will be a situation where on a particular system have finished the task and you will require some other particular node to finish the task so that you can combine the result. So this synchronization must be handled by the name node and job tracker respectively. Now, at the last, now in Hadoop, master and slave system can be set up in cloud or on premises. So when we talk about the Hadoop MapReduce or application, we can install the Hadoop MapReduce on our single node, but that's not efficient. We can install Hadoop MapReduce application on multi-node or on our own premises. Suppose we have uh, our own computing devices, own laptops, or own desktop with a optimum configuration requirement. So we can install the Hadoop master slave system on that. As well, apart from that, we can also install it on a cloud. So nowadays, cloud computing is a very much beneficial for running the application. Why is it so? Because we can scale our application, we can increase the performance of the application, we can perform the sustainability of the application, and we can also provide the cost-effective solution. So on the cloud-based system, you can also install the Hadoop master slave system, and the same requirement which is required on your premises, same will be applicable on the cloud-based system. Now, next is a feature of Hadoop. So first thing, suitable for big data analysis. So as we have already discussed that the Hadoop MapReduce system are designed to process the big data information to provide accuracy, for example, text processing, image processing, and so much task of the big data analysis. So it is suitable for that. As a big data tends to be distributed and unstructured in nature. Unstructured means nowadays we can see that we are always exposing to the unstructured information. Common example is a tweet. Now there are millions of tweets have been processed every day on the Twitter, and these tweets are unstructured information. They can contain the text, they can contain the audio, they can contain the video, they can contain other media format. So they are not in very structured format, they can be a unstructured format. Apart from that, we are having more reviews, comment from the users of e-commerce websites or any service providing website or any government website. There are surveys which is happening for, suppose we want to do the survey of some book or some other types of tasks. So big data tends to distribute and unstructured. So these are the unstructured information. So now in today's we are more facing towards the unstructured in nature. So Hadoop cluster are best suited for analyzing of big data since it is processing logic, not the actual data that flows the computing node. So actual data is basically uh, available on the computing node. So Hadoop will take care of all these processing logics, flow over the flow between the computing node, and it require a less network bandwidth because it can run on your premises. You can don't require too much bandwidth, and it also very much cost effective if you work on the cloud based system. This concept is called data locality concept, and it help increase the efficiency of Hadoop based application. Now, scalability. If you talk about the scalability, so for example, scalability means suppose we are running an application for 10 users. So initially, when we develop any application, we are not very much concern about the uses of the application. So we restrict, assume that 10 users at a time will use the application in the starting of the application. But what happen after some time when your application get popular, then the number of user will increase. Suppose now your application is be used by 100 user, and after that 1000 user, for 10,000 user, for a million users, and so on. So scalability is means your application should be such that so that it can support the increasing number of users without any type of issues or problem. So Hadoop provide the scalability. Hadoop cluster can easily be scaled to any extent by adding additional cluster node. Okay, so Hadoop cluster basically the collection of data node, or we can slave node, collection of computing devices which are processing the information. So Hadoop allow you to add the additional node. So suppose you are processing 10 users, you require only two systems to process that. And after sometimes you'll find out that there's 100 users. Now you will require additional two systems to process that and so much information. After some times you got that there is 1,000 users. Now you require additional 10 system to process the information. So you can add on the node to the Hadoop cluster without any problem. So thus is provide you a scalability for your application. So you will get the additional cluster nodes and so on and so on. You can, there is a no limit how can you extend the capability of the Hadoop cluster and thus allow for the growth of big data. Definitely, big data is growing very large day by day. We need to be take care of large amount data which is generated through the internet by different applications. So it will help us to allow the growth of data. Also, scaling does not require modification to application logic. It is very important. Suppose you have written some application, irrespective of number of your user, you do not change your application frequently. When you think that your application requires some modification based on your features, based on logic, then you require to change. But if your number of users are increasing a Hadoop MapReduce system, you do not require to change your application logic. Same application logic which is applicable on two system, 10 users, that will also applicable of 5 users, two system, or 100 users, 10 system, 1,000 users, 100 system, and so on. So Hadoop cluster does not, Hadoop MapReduce does not force you to change your application logic. Application logic should be same. It should not be your worry. You have written the logic. You can deploy on the cloud. Now cloud will take care of everything. You will add on your data node. You will add on more data node to support the more user. Now, fault tolerance. If we talk about the fault tolerance, you will find out that computing system are prone to failure. Failure from physical damage, failure from electricity failure, breach of privacy, sometimes some manhandling, or some person has broken your devices, sometimes wire broke down, sometimes your system fall down because of electricity failure or some internal component failure, sometimes network goes down. So there can be multiple reasons that your distributed system will face such type thing. Suppose you are running your application on single node and your single node down, then what will happen? Your computing system will go down or your application will be shut. You are not able to process any kind of information. And if you are running your application on 100 nodes, 10 node, 1000 node, and some of them are down, you are going to face the consequences. So Hadoop system, Hadoop MapReduce system will provide you a way to handle this such kind of thing. So Hadoop as DFS system, basically, as we have discussed, they will provide you a way to store your data in multiple locations. They will take care of the redundancy, they can take care of the ambiguity and so on. So there you should not be very much worry about that after writing your application. And irrespective of different kinds of fault, your application is able to fault tolerance. So Hadoop ecosystem has a provision to replicate the input data on the other devices or cluster node. That way, in the event of a cluster node failure, data processing can still proceed by using the cluster node failure. So irrespective of your cluster node failure, you can process the system, you can process the application, you can process the data, and data is process can still process by using data storage on another cluster node. So one node down, another node will take care of that charge, and one more node down, another node will take care of that charge, and so on. So this is all about the Hadoop MapReduce system. Now, any question till now?
No, sir.
Okay, so now we'll move on the another one. How can we run the Hadoop on, uh, or we can install the Hadoop on or Ubuntu Linux. So basically, to installing the Hadoop system, we require a Linux machine. Basically, Hadoop MapReduce system is written on the Linux, so you can't install it on the Windows. You will require a Ubuntu Linux. Any Ubuntu Linux flavor is applicable, and you should check the Hadoop MapReduce version requirement, which version is required. Now, I will go into the brief what are the different requirement of running Hadoop on the Ubuntu Linux single node cluster. So we are discussing a single node cluster here. Single node cluster means we are running on Hadoop on a single node, single laptop, single personal system, single computing device. You can perform the multi-node cluster operation, or you can multi-node installation of Hadoop. We'll discuss the single node, then you will perform how to do the single node cluster system, and you can also do the multiple node cluster system. I have performed both, so it's very easier. But on a single node, you are not going to get the processing power, but on a multiple node, you will get a more processing power, a faster application, and so on. So Hadoop framework is written in Java. So basically, you require a knowledge of Java. So as a MTech student, we are very much aware about that Java, what is Java, and how can we retain the application in Java. So same thing as application in Java is application in Hadoop framework. So running application on large cluster commodity hardware incurred features similar to those of Google file system and so on. There is a one-term Google file system. We'll discuss in near future what is that now. The requirement for this Ubuntu Linux 10.04 and more. Now it is a similar older version of that. Now there is a Ubuntu Linux 20.04 LTS. Here LTS refer for long-term support. So every Ubuntu flavor will get a 4 to 5 year of long-term support, And right now there is a 20 version 20.04. It is a LTS, so it will get the long term support for 4 years. And when we'll get a new version, that will be application. So what happen if you install the older version of Linux, your system can perform very fine. You can install the Hadoop modules, but I will recommend you that go for the newer version. But based on your computing device configuration, it will be more required. So it is defining Hadoop 1.0.3 release, but you go for the latest one because it is a very much older version. Process is same, but you should, when you're going for the Hadoop 1.0.3, let us take Hadoop download. So let us which version is available right now. So there is a version of the 2.10.0, 3.2.1, and so on. So based on these, there are similar requirement written here. You can download it. You can check the requirement. What is the different requirement? And again, this is a hadoop.apache.org. You can go for the documentation. Latest stable, go for the stable version. So in a stable version, you will get different types of information about it. And on the download, you will get different downloads. You can go for the community for different types of you. So you should definitely go for this information. Now we'll come back over running the Hadoop MapReduce system. So by following this information, you can check what is required. So in this version requires Java 1.5 plus, but you should very check what is your currently requirement of Java for the Hadoop system. So first on the Linux, you will should open the terminal, run this command sudo opt-get update. So what the update statement will do, it will update the list of your repository on the Ubuntu Linux system. So what is a repository here? As we know that we are very much familiar with the Windows. If you are familiar with the Linux, you will know that to installing any application on Linux, there is a one way you can download it from its repository and install it. So repository is like a storage on a centralized server where the application binary is available. You can directly install the binary from there, and you should not worry about the compatibility and all the configuration requirement of that particular application. It will be taken care by those binary and installation mode. So update will update your list of binaries, so you will always get the latest application available on the binary. Now next command to install the Java. So you should very much take care that which Java is installing. So there are multiple Java. One is Java basically owned by the Oracle system, so you can install the Java from here. But Linux is also having its own flavor of Java. So it is Sun Microsystem, or we can OpenJDK. So I will prefer go for the OpenJDK. So just install the OpenJDK. Go on the OpenJDK site, find out the which version is required, which version is compatible with your Hadoop MapReduce system, or you can install from there. Now after that, check the version. It is very much required because if you are downloading your Hadoop system devices, you should be very much aware about what is the Java version of it. Because if it is not compatible, you will get the problem. Now to installing the Hadoop, you should add some group to the as a Hadoop system. You can so that you Hadoop system is using a different type of file system and a different type of configuration. It should be installed as a different group and different users. So you have to create a group Hadoop and different user as the user. Here user will be same like you are creating a user on your personal system with your name or any other identity. You will create a SD user. So from now on, we'll see that what is the SD user will do and how it will perform. Now, now configure SSH. SSH is basically all you are aware about. The SSH is used to access the information between the terminals. So we will use the SSH to access the multiple devices and what is happening between them. Now, so now we'll go to the SD user. This command basically do the transfer your user identity. Suppose your user Mansi running on your own system. So now if you type this command, user will be changed. Now your user will be SD user from apart from your own user. Now, this command is basically running the generating the SSH key. So you just write as it is. Do not very much worry about it because it is basically a communication system, password protected system between the different devices. So what will happen when you are communicating to different devices? You require some type of key. So you just type this command in your system and it will generate the private key. Just check that the all things will be like the same. Now we'll create a RSA key pair with the empty password. So this is also should be done. So now after that you will run this command and change and copy your key from this to this. So we are just simply following this command. Do not worry much about the content and so on. Just go through it and run this command. Now we'll call the local host. Local host because we are using installing on single node system. So we follow the local host here. When we are installing our system devices on a multi-node, we are definitely follow the multiple node system. So we'll provide the IP address here. Now we are writing the local host which is 127.00.1. But if you are following the multiple node, we'll provide the multi-node system. Now, uh, you can skip this. Don't need to disable the IPv6, or you should follow that as you want to. Now, after that, we'll change the Hadoop environment file. Okay, and first you do this prerequisite. After that, you download the Hadoop and do perform these jar zip files. So you have to unzip that. You can fire these statements on your terminal. It will do the things. After that you have to update your home basically execution bash script file, so that there should be paths. So like Hadoop path should be installed, Java path is same like installing and providing the path to your Linux support system so that it can find the Hadoop file. Now we'll go for the SDFS. We have already discussed this. Now we'll configure the as Hadoop environment path, and we'll change this to this, and after that we'll configure the site.xml file and same thing. So but remember, follow these statement or step one by one. Do not leave everything anything, because when you are installing the Hadoop, you should follow all these statement one by one. It is a very tedious task. I have installed the Hadoop. I require more than 2 days because every time I installed it in my Amtech, I done some mistakes. So it will require more concentration and check the statement what is happening, what are these messages. It should be same. Otherwise, there is a no way that you can find out that your system is Hadoop is installed or not, until unless you will complete all the steps from uh, top to bottom. After that, when you check that your Hadoop is installed or not, you will run this command, that is JPS. So you should get all these information. If you are missing any information, it means your Hadoop is not ready to install. You go to uninstall it and again do the same processing. And now you can follow these information, and there is a different type of application you can run the Hadoop. I have run the word count application and text processing k-means k-medod application. You can do that and so on. Now, copy local data, that is also important. Suppose you have a large amount data in your OS file system. Basically, Ubuntu support the ext file system, so you have to transfer those data to SDFS size file system, because that is not applicable here. So you have to follow these things. So we have less meeting time, so we should take the attendance first. Okay, so follow these commands and you will get definitely get success with some more requirement. Uh, so it is a definitely a tedious task. You will get this type of information and you can get MapReduce and so on. So that's it. And that's all for this session. I will hope that you will install the Hadoop and run it. And any question? Any question from your side? Mansi?
No, sir.
Okay, Zuli?
No, sir.
Okay, Ravindra? Okay, I think we have some internet issues. So that's all for today, guys. And that's all for session. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.